Hi friends, you're back with me, your friend for biology, Professor Girish Kukreja. So, talking about another class of biomolecule. Here I'll be sticking strictly to the NCERT module of standard 11, right? We have so many other things to know about this particular biomolecule, that is carbohydrates. So, here they've discussed only about polysaccharides. So, I also will be focusing only on that. So here it is like, if you are reading that NCERT, so what are the things which are mentioned there? So if you have a test tomorrow, maybe you can prepare from this. So a strictly NCERT based biomolecule and acid insoluble fraction, that is your polysaccharides. So these polysaccharides belonging to carbohydrates containing mono, di, oligo and poly, as the term says, polysaccharide. Poly is many, many saccharide, many sugars, right? So it is a long chain of sugars. So if you want to remember here that polysaccharides are carbohydrates and they are long chain of sugars. So many sugars which are joined, like many moti, when they are joined you get a motiyo ka har. So many sugars when they are joined you get what is called as a polysaccharide. So building block here, as I told, is your monosaccharide. So many small sugars, monosaccharides, they join together to form a polysaccharides. Now nature of the chemical bond, like here which are linking them, has been deleted, but then still, to just for an information, you can remember that these are joined by glycosidic bonds. Don't tell anyone, right? So monosaccharides, like, so what you have to remember here, that there are glycosidic bonds. Oh, you have to forget that. What you have to remember here is that monosaccharides, there are many monosaccharides linked together to form a polysaccharide, and it comes under acid insoluble fraction. So really a macromolecule. Some polymeric polysaccharides, polymer because it is like many monomers, and polysaccharide because it is made of sugars, right? So you have cellulose, which is a homopolymer made of only one particular, what you call as sugar, that is your glucose. You heard about this cellulose? Yeah, when you were small, that time we had seen, abhi bhi aap bahut bade ho gaye, aisa nahi, but then still cellulose was a major component of the plant cell wall. So that cellulose is made of what is called as glucose. The paper which we prepare from the plant pulp, that is also a cellulose. The cotton is a pure cellulose, right? So it is like threads, literally you can see those cotton threads. So what is that? That is cellulose. Then you have a variant of this cellulose, that is starch. So in plants, when they want to store food in the form of starch, when you want to store food in the form of glycogen, so in plants it is starch. So it may be starch, it may be cellulose. In plants, cellulose in cell wall, starch as a storage food, that potato, wheat, rice. Plant stores food, starch for themselves, and you eat it. I also eat it, right? But then you have this starch or cellulose, both are polymers of glucose, and we are storing this glycogen in our livers, right? Livers, we have only one, that is more than enough, right? The largest gland of your body. Oh, I'm going to zoology. Anyways, so glycogen, the storage polysaccharide in animals, that is made of glucose. So point to remember here is that cellulose, starch, glycogen, you think of anything, it is made of what is called as glucose. So you can see that glycogen is more branched. You look at the right side of the end of the glycogen, it is reducing, and the left one is non-reducing. It has many branches. So you have a core polysaccharide, and then you have many branches coming up. So much branch structure is that of glycogen. You have another polysaccharide, inulin. Remember, it is made of fructose. So many of the time you get confused with inulin and insulin. Again, insulin is a hormone, right? We had seen in proteins, which is controlling our blood glucose level. Anyways, here we are talking about inulin, one S less. So this inulin is made of fructose. So it is a polymeric fructose. Like many fructose joined together, it forms inulin. The starch, if you see in its secondary structure, it forms helices. So it is a helical structure where if you mix iodine with it, iodine will go and sit here, and my blue color is not working. But then here you have this blue coloration which you get when you mix your starch with your iodine. So if you want to detect starch, just add a few drops of iodine. So because of the helical structure, this iodine goes and sits there, and it gets a blue color. So cellulose is like straight, hum seedhe aadmi hai. So cellulose doesn't have what you call as that helical structure. So iodine goes and doesn't find a space, so it doesn't give a blue color. So if you are like adding a few drops of iodine, getting a blue color, you can be sure it is starch. Cellulose will not give that. There are many other sugars, like you have amino sugars, you have some sugars which are modified, which have nitrogen and all. You have glucosamine, you have N-acetyl galactosamine. So these are some modified sugars. You have arthropods. Oh ये कहाँ पे आ गए? But then you know that arthropod, your favorite cockroaches and all your insects, they have their exoskeleton which is made of chitin. So remember, chitin is a polysaccharide. I don't know, somehow many people think that is a protein. No, it is a polysaccharide. It is a complex polysaccharide. Don't tell again anyone that is made of N-acetyl glucosamine. Many N-acetyl glucosamine links together to form what is called as chitin. Most of your complex polysaccharides, they are homopolymers. So they are made of only one type of what you call as sugar. If they are made of multiple types of sugar, it is a heteropolysaccharide. Okay, a quick summary. We have quick summary के लिए ready है तुम, right? Okay, so we have polysaccharides which are acid insoluble, which are long chain of sugars. The building blocks are monosaccharides, cellulose, starch, glycogen. All are polymers of glucose. Homopolymers, they are starch in plant, glycogen in animal, cellulose in the cell wall, plant pulp for paper, and for what? For your cotton, right? Then you have starch, which is helical, which is binding to iodine and giving a blue color. Then we have amino sugars, which are modified, N-acetyl galactosamine and glucosamine, the examples in your book, and arthropod exoskeleton made of such complex sugar, that is chitin. Stay tuned with me, Professor Girish Kukreja, and hope that you perform well in tomorrow's test. Thank you.